Hi, Jamie Guyland, Senior Instructor with the Raspberry Golf Academy at Royal Manchester Golf Links. Today I want to talk about the process that I use when hitting a short game shot or trying to diagnose what to do when I have a short game shot. So it's a three-step process I want you to start experimenting with yourself. First, I want you to picture the shot. So I've got the ball here and the flag's there. I'm about 20 yards away. I've got about 5 yards to get to the green surface, 5 yards of fairway. So the options are kind of limitless. I mean, I can hit almost any club in my bag and get it to finish around the hole if I had to. Some of them would roll through the fairway, some would land farther onto the green or just on the green, but it's up to you to decide what you think is best and what might play to your strengths, what you might be the best at. So the first thing I want you to do is picture in your mind the shot, meaning picture where it would land on the green, picture the height of it, the trajectory of it, how it would have spin, how it would finish and roll to the hole based on the slope of the green. So things you have to take into account are how firm and fast is the green, which way is the green tilted in different spots that it may be rolling along. As a general rule of thumb, I like to land it around 2 yards on every time if possible. Sometimes that's not possible, or I don't think that's the best, but I'd say 90% of the time I'm going to try to land each shot just a little on the green, give myself a buffer so that I don't land it in the fringe or the fairway, but I want to land it on the green soon and then get it rolling like a putt as quick as I can. So I've got this wire hoop, and it's going to be kind of tough to hit this target. It's small, but I'm going to try. I'm going to put this where I picture this thing landing. So just a couple yards on the green. And the next step would be to identify, is it a pitch or chip technique? So pitch meaning it's going to land 50% of the total distance or more. Chip going to land less than 50% of the total distance and be more roll than carry. So I need to figure that out. I need to walk this off and establish that. So let's do that now. Let's figure how many steps is it to my landing point, and then how many steps from my landing point to the hole. So it's 6 yards to my landing point and then 8 more total. 14-yard shot. I said 20. It's a 14-yard shot. So I should be using a chip technique. Sometimes you audible on this. Sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Even if it's less than 50, it doesn't feel right. You'll still may use one of the other techniques. But I'll still use a chip technique here. And so the last thing I want you to do when you're thinking about short game process is loft. You've got to figure out what loft is now going to make all this work. What loft is going to land it in my circle and finish it around the hole. And that's based on green speed, green firmness, break, things like that. But it's not just the club that I pull out of my bag or I come over from the cart with. It's how I use that loft. So I could use this same static loft this way. I could do a lot of different things with it. I need to know what I'm going to do with the dynamic loft. So I've chosen a pitching wedge. I'm going to play a chip technique. I'm going to put it just a little back in my stance, have a little bit of shaft lean forward, so I'll be taking away some of the static loft. And let's see if I can make my picture come to life. I'm going to try to land it close to my circle, see if it finishes around the hole total. Wow, I did it! So I did land it in the circle and finished 2 feet from the hole. So I chose the right loft dynamically, meaning that I played it in the correct fashion. To land it in the circle, I made the correct amount of swing. That's another key element here, is you have to make the correct swing, length and speed with the given loft that you've chosen and how you're going to use that loft. So experiment. I mean, this short game is so fun because you can do so many different things here. I could have flown that 3 or 4 yards farther, much higher, and had a totally different kind of shot. And neither one is right or wrong. I just like to get the ball rolling like a putt as fast as possible. My mind's eye sort of sees that shot. I like that the best. But you've got to go and you got to play to your strengths, and you have to do what you're good at, you know. So experiment, go through that process. Again, it's picture the shot, picture where it would land, figure out, is it a pitch or chip? And then you've got to get the loft correct and the correct feel to get that loft to work and land in your spot and finish around your hole. Try that. We'll have more with short game coming up. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.